Hey guys, we've got a bunch of astrology to talk about yet again today. For starters, Mercury is changing signs. Mercury is leaving Virgo for the second time because of his retrograde process, entering the sign of Libra. This should definitely bring some shifts in terms of the way that our mind is working over this next couple days, couple weeks while Mercury is transiting Libra. This should definitely bring a more social energy dynamic dimension of things. Also, though, today, you guys, we have the real big news is both luminaries forming an aspect to Saturn and Uranus in exact square. The moon in Taurus today is going to be coming into a conjunction with Uranus. This sun in Libra is going to be forming a trine to Saturn. So, this Saturn Uranus square energy that is in effect right now is really getting lit up today by both the sun and the moon. So there could be some things playing out along these lines, some unexpected changes could be coming through today as well. Remember, we also have Mars and square Neptune and that dynamic exact and playing out. There's a lot to talk about today, you guys. Let's get into this chart. Let's break down this energy and see what we may be able to anticipate on the ground in our experience today. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Tuesday, October 11th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. And if you guys stick with me until the end of the report, we're also going to be talking about some tarot cards that we got today in conjunction with the astrology, just so that we can tap into the energy field from more than one modality, just get a better understanding of what's going on out there. But we're going to start with the astrology. And first of all, I apologize for the darkness today, you guys. I'm actually filming this video extra early this morning, so the sun's not totally up yet. The lighting is probably going to change dramatically throughout the course of this video, but anyways, I'm not just intentionally sitting here in a dark room. All the windows are open and, well, not open, but the blinds are up and everything. I'm just waiting for the sun to come more back up and light up the world. But anyways, let's talk about astrology. Lots of it going on today, you guys. Like I said, honestly, things may feel a bit all over the place today. We may sort of feel like we are just being pulled in multiple directions, or we are just at the whim of universe. And really, we need to be able to surrender in this energy, surrender our burdens to the divine, and just rest assured the best that we can that things truly are moving in the right direction and that we're going to be okay at the end of all of this. So anyways, let's talk about the astrology. First of all, as I mentioned, Mercury, the messenger planet, our mind, our thoughts, what we're talking about, what we're thinking about, news, media, just where our mental cognition is geared. Leaving Virgo, entering the sign of Libra. This is putting the mental emphasis back on relationships, finances, social life, keeping the peace, keeping the balance, keeping the harmony. I actually am kind of happy about this, and I feel like this transit of Mercury into the sign of Libra right now may actually bring a bit of, or may actually have a positive impact in terms of tempering out perhaps some of the more aggressive Mars energy that we have coming through from the Mars Neptune square. Now, this is because Mercury, it rules our mind, and it also rules the position of Mars right now. Mars is in the sign of Gemini, an exact square to Neptune. Gemini is ruled by Mercury. And with Mercury moving into Libra, I feel like this is just sort of, like I said, tempering out the hostility or the aggression that Mars may be feeling in the sign of Gemini. It sort of brings an aspect of wanting to sort of keep the peace or harmony or restore peace or balance in one way or another. Mercury in Libra makes us more relatable, easygoing, able to see sort of both sides of the story, which is helpful in this Mars Gemini energy that creates potential fights and conflicts over polarization, and in the square to Neptune also perhaps over not seeing things clearly or being in some type of illusion or delusion about something, and or just being really overly attached to our ideas or our beliefs or our fantasies about something, and them really creating some anger or provoking us in one way or another. I feel like Mercury entering the sign of Libra right now could sort of just like cool things down a little bit. And this is also bringing a mental shift more in terms of being more social and more outgoing. This is like Mercury leaving the sign of the Hermit, the sign of Virgo, and moving into the sign of the social butterfly, Libra. So we're definitely more likely to just like want to sort of be connecting and relating with other people, and also sort of like smoothing things over, like keeping the peace. Venus or Mercury in Libra is like sort of like a mediator type of energy. So I do feel like this may be sort of helping to, like, I keep thinking just of this word temper, like temper out like conflict that may be arising because of this Mars Gemini energy. And so this is what we're dealing with, Mercury moving into the sign of Libra. People are definitely likely to be, just like more social and like outgoing and stuff. This is a much more extroverted energy that we are dealing with than Mercury in the sign of Virgo as we go throughout this next couple of weeks. So we have that. Now, on the other hand today, like I said, we do have this massive highlight on the Uranus square Saturn energy that's in effect actually, and I missed this last week when Mercury was still retrograde and I was talking about Saturn square Uranus, and we had the moon come into conjunction with Saturn, and I was talking about how they're only going to be in the exact square for 12 days, but somehow I overlooked the Taurus moon conjunction to Uranus that was also coming. So yeah, we had Saturn, the moon conjunct Saturn last week in this exact square, and today we're actually having the moon conjunct Uranus in the sign of Taurus squaring Saturn in the sign of Aquarius while they're still exact. I believe they're moving out of exact square on the 12th, but yeah, we do have another one, and that is the hit that we have going on today. So, and the north node is there too, you guys. Remember, the nodes are there just a few degrees off of the position of Uranus in the sign of Taurus, the north node, and the south node in the sign of Scorpio. So the moon coming through Taurus each month activates the north node, which is the destiny point. This is the path ahead. This is where we're sort of being sort of like compulsively pulled towards at this point in time. And Uranus, this is the great rectifier. This is the great awakening energy. This is what is really creating in Taurus these massive upheavals to our foundations that are shifting things in a way actually that is pulling our potential out of us and showing us our own resources. Ultimately, that's what Uranus and Taurus, showing us the truth of our own value and what we really have the potential to create with that can stabilize our physical world. That is really what Uranus at this point in time in the sign of Taurus is trying to show us. But in the square to Saturn, this also has to do with breaking us out of any structures or limitations or like self-limiting beliefs or karmic cycles that have been keeping us from seeing the truth of that value, and therefore being able to tap into those resources, create from this authentic potential that which was always meant for us, activate our destiny, the self-actualization process, which is very much in alignment also with the hero's journey, which I talk about, the Chiron archetype. But it is essentially like on the microcosm, that is how we make the transition into the age of Aquarius. It's this individualized process of self-actualization that extrapolates outward, and one by one, we create the age of Aquarius through our individualized process, through our own hero's journey, and are tapping our own potential. And that's what this aspect ultimately is trying to do. But because of the nature of the planets involved and, the rigidity and the stuckness of a lot of the cycles and the patterns and the just ways of being that we may find ourselves in at this point in time, it is requiring, some real like pulling the Band-Aid off, sort of. It probably doesn't feel all that comfortable, but, ultimately we have to try to trust that where it's going is in a positive direction for us ultimately. Anyways, though, we have this moon coming in today in the sign of Taurus, hitting the north node, hitting Uranus, squaring Saturn, things happening unexpectedly. I mean, this is this Uranus energy. This could be like emotional upsets, emotional upheavals, anxiety and nervous tension may be running very strong today. This also indicates like sudden changes, sudden shifts, things just happening like sort of out of the blue or hitting us out of nowhere, or sort of like sidelining us somehow just as we're going about our day, or just really like awakening us to something as well, or presenting also. The Uranus square Saturn also can really put some like fierce obstacles in our way that we feel like we really need to break free from in one way or another. But the other side of this energy today, remember, we do have the moon aspecting, conjuncting Uranus square Saturn, but we also have the sun, you guys, in Libra today at 19 degrees of Libra, forming an exact trine to Saturn at 19 Aquarius. And remember, Saturn and Uranus are both retrograde right now as well. So While the moon and Uranus may be bringing this like anxious tension and this like just feeling of like, things happening very quickly, like not really knowing what's going on, like sort of feeling like electrified in one way or another, or just like overstimulated, overwhelmed generally. Sun square or Sun trine Saturn, this is actually a very like positive grounding aspect, very stabilizing force. And I feel like this trine simultaneously is sort of like trying to help us manage this energy through channeling it productively. The Sun and trine to Saturn, first of all, trines facilitate things, they assist things. And Saturn, this is duty, responsibility, obligation, attention to detail, concentration, focus, and stuff like that as well. And so I feel like, while on one hand, we may sort of be feeling like emotionally all over the place today, this is also sort of telling us that a good use of our energy, regardless, is to try to channel it into something practical, into something productive. Great energy for planning, for organizing, self-discipline, self-control. Work ethic is generally very strong in this energy, especially for anything requiring like concentration or focus or attention to detail or like meticulous, like anything, things being done like in a slow, like consecutive, meticulous process. And it supports long-lasting results as well, like things that happen in Sun trine energy, or the things that we put work into pursuing or to creating, or the goals that we try to manifest during a Sun trine Saturn energy, a lot of times can have a long-lasting follow-through, long-lasting results or success in some type of a way. And this energy also has a tendency of helping us to derive actually a form of satisfaction from that which we are putting our work, our energy into, that which we are like putting our work ethic into, when we have these two planets making this aspect together. And we did talk about this aspect slightly last week, because Mars, Saturn, and the Sun have been kind of in a grand trine together. They're still there. Mars is at 24 Gemini right now, and the Sun and Saturn are at 19 degrees Aquarius and Libra. So this is generally, it is still a grand trine, but it's pretty loose in terms of the Mars component of things. But I mean, still, like, we could still definitely call it that. But the Sun and Saturn there today, this is just gives us a very good ability to plan, to organize, to blueprint, to like figure out how we can act our faith. You know what I mean? Like, if we're feeling sort of all over the place today, like doing what we can to sort of do little things, work on little things to feel like we have some sense of control over where things are going on a practical, mundane level, in like the what is right in front of us, even if we may be just in a sense of like disorientation generally right now, and like not knowing what's going to happen or how things are going to unfold, or what's coming next, or stuff like that. If we can sort of just like, bring it in a little bit, like focus in on what's in front of us and do something productive that may help us in this energy and actually have more of a positive impact than we might have realized going forward. But overall, you guys, with both of these luminaries aspecting Saturn and Uranus today by their exact degrees, also Mars in the square to Neptune as well. Like, that's another dimension that is tied into this. We also have Mars in an exact square to Neptune in Gemini and Pisces right now. I talked about this a lot in my video from yesterday. If you didn't catch that one, you might want to look back, because I mean, this is an energy that we've had in effect, since we started October. This energy is going to be in effect all October, and actually it really characterizes pretty much the rest of this year and into 2023 because of Mars's retrograde process. And Mars is going to make 2 more direct squares to Neptune, one next month in November and then one in March. And this Mars square Neptune energy, like, this does a lot of different types of stuff. For one, it really can like disorient our ability to know what to do, to know what choice to make, to know what decision to make, to know what to say, to know how to act. It may cause us to sort of like want to avoid having to confront things or have difficult conversations, or it may also make us sort of in a state of illusion or fantasy about our own understanding about things, or about our own belief systems, or about our own like identity, or about our own like understanding about things, and create a lot of conflict. Mars in the sign of Gemini, this is sort of where we over attach our ego to our ideas, and when therefore somebody has a problem maybe with what we're thinking, or with what we're saying, or with what our ideas are, we can take that as a personal attack and really come out swinging, especially in terms of verbal artillery. Like with Mars in the sign of Gemini, you guys, people are not holding back when it comes to saying what they feel needs to be said, and slashing that verbal sword very much with this energy. But then, you know, with the dimension of Neptune as well, like lots of trickery, lots of deceit, lots of like trying to get away with things, and dishonest behavior, and trying to hide the truth about things as well, hide the facts, hide the information. Gemini, news, media, social media, information, what we're talking about, what we're thinking about, what we're learning, education, like trying to hide that type of stuff. Neptune to like confuse or delude, or just make the truth very like distorted or unclear, distortion of information. This is another thing that can come in this energy. So with all of this playing out, you guys, like we honestly, like there just may be, like I feel like this is like the third time I've said this so far in this report, all over the place. And there are these ongoing attempts to like hide deceit and to hide wrongdoing. And like it's being spoken about in the position of the sun today. It's 19 degrees of Libra in the trine to Saturn. That Sabian symbol is a gang of robbers in hiding. So it's like specifically talking about this ongoing, and that's another thing, like Mars in Neptune, like this is passive aggressive energy. This is like trying to avoid direct confrontation through like going around the back, or like trying to like hide the deceitful whatever, or trying to like hide things generally. And then we have the gang of robbers in hiding, the position of the sun today in the trine to Saturn. But we also are gaining an elevated perspective on things, and maybe in sort of like a magical way. 19 degrees of Aries, the Sabian symbol where the earth is today, what's happening on the ground, the state of things on the ground, the magic carpet of oriental imagery. So yeah, there may be a gang of robbers hiding in the shadows, but simultaneously we're on this magic carpet with this elevated perspective and an ability to literally go anywhere and see anything. So I don't know. I don't know how it goes, you guys, but I mean, well, ultimately we do know how it goes. We're heading into the age of Aquarius. This is the age of self-knowledge, self-empowerment. In order for us to get there, the truth about a lot of things has to come clean so that we can make good choices for ourselves in terms of our personal growth and our self-actualization process, and like our own personal transition into the age of Aquarius moving forward. But today, you guys, this is just what we're dealing with. But like the luminaries, the nodes, Uranus, today is one of those days I really feel like that things are just happening according to a higher plan. And like I said in the beginning, we really need to just surrender and be able to surrender to the process of what's going on right now. The nodes in effect, Uranus in effect by the moon. Both luminaries today, you guys, like it is just a day for us to try to step back the best that we can, get on our magic carpet, try to see things from a higher perspective, and not allow ourselves to be sort of caught in a state of fear, I guess we could say, with all of this going on, just because of like the uncertainty that may be involved in whatever is playing out. So that's actually what I have to say for the astrology today, you guys. Mercury entering the sign of Libra. This is definitely going to be bringing an energetic shift in the way that our mind is working, moving forward, what we're focusing on. Also, I do feel like I said, I feel like this is bringing a bit of pacifying energy to the Mars dynamic that may be playing out with Mars and Gemini and square to Neptune. So I am pretty happy about seeing this Mercury in Venus today. And then this big square Saturn-Uranus being lit up by the sun and the moon today. The sun is also forming an exact quincunx aspect, which is an aspect that can bring change as well. So this really could be bringing actually some type of stabilizing change with Saturn with the sun in the trine to Saturn and the quincunx to Uranus, to the dynamic of the Saturn-Uranus square that's been playing out as well. But overall, like we just, I feel like need to be sort of going with the flow of things today. And trusting the plan. And honestly, that's what the tarot cards are saying as well, you guys. And we got a short tarot message today too. I only got 3 cards coming out today and the back of the deck, and I feel like the message is like crystal clear and to the point. We got the Emperor coming out first. This is the plan, you guys. This is that Sunshine Saturn energy. This is about getting to work, getting focused, concentrating on something, working towards our goals, putting in some practical effort, like towards something that can create some type of like tangible result that benefits us in some type of a way. And then the next 2 cards we had coming out were the 4 of Cups and the 8 of Swords with the 4 of Wands in reverse on the back of the deck. So honestly, like this is sort of telling me that this is a card of apathy right here. And this is a card of feeling trapped or feeling like our hands are tied about something. So I feel like this is saying like, in this energy that's playing out today, if we find ourselves sort of in a state of not knowing what to do, not knowing what choice to make, feeling like we're sort of in a state of apathy about things, like again, we do sort of need to focus on our work. And I feel like this is also saying that God is in charge right now. Like I was saying earlier, like the hand of God, the divine universe is really sort of moving things around the chessboard for us today. And even if we are feeling like very, very uninspired, unmotivated, apathetic about things, and like we've just lost our ability to be productive somehow, we can't allow ourselves to feel like there's no way out. There really is a powerful force that is moving things behind the scenes today. And we also may be in a position where we are like not realizing or seeing our own power at this point in time to resolve things in the way we want to. I wrote, we shouldn't allow ourselves to feel trapped or like our hands are tied or in a state of apathy. We should find something productive to do. And again, this may be because we feel like there is something like out of balance or just sort of like upside down in the state of our everyday life, in our family situation, our home environment, having to do with like our ability to just like enjoy like our day-to-day existence, the 4 of Wands in reverse, or just like a lack of balance also like in our relationships also this could be, but generally like home, family, community, friend groups, the connections that make us feel happy and like bring us joy and stuff like that. There may be something that is like upside down or out of balance in this energy that we are navigating in regards to that. But also, like I said, we shouldn't allow ourselves to feel like trapped or like there is no out and just sort of surrender to that. What this energy, especially with the Emperor here, I feel like is trying to like help us move towards is just those little things that we can put that energy into to be like a little bit productive here and there. I feel like we'll have some type of benefit in helping us to maneuver and navigate through this energy, perhaps in just I don't know, the Emperor, like a more successful, productive way. And that with the Saturn and Sun trine that we have going on today as well, that also seems, like some of the advice that universe is giving us or providing for us in the context of this Uranus square Saturn energy that we have with the moon as well, and also this Mars Neptune energy. Yeah, I feel like this is really telling us, we need to dig for like our boss within us. Like we need to boss up. Like I feel like that is, really what this is about. Like we need to stop playing the victim essentially. I think that is also something that is coming through with this. Like we need to, the 8 of Swords, like she's got all of those swords around her. She could easily cut herself free from those bondages that she's in, that bondage that she's in. But it's like a mentalized thing, you know what I mean? And then the 4 of Cups, this is just like not looking at the opportunities that are being presented to us, just like not seeing what's in front of our face. Both of these cards are about not seeing something, not seeing what's happening. And that's why I was saying on one hand, we're not seeing the Emperor at work. Like we're not seeing the truth of the plan. We're not seeing the truth of the blueprint as it unfolds. But simultaneously, like, we may also not be seeing our own personal sense of power to do things to move ourselves forward despite whatever is going on. So I feel like, yeah, this is also like a call for us to sort of like boss up to one extent and get to work regardless of what we may be like feeling with and struggling with at this point in time, because there's something that needs to be done, or just we need to keep the energy moving, the energy flowing. Remember what I was saying also about this Mars square Neptune energy in my report from yesterday? A lot of times it can provide scenarios that kind of make us feel discouraged, like, so we should just like give up on something that we've been working towards, that we've been passionate about or motivated about or pursuing, because Neptune like breaks down and disorients the motivation and the willpower of Mars, and we can kind of become an illusion about what we've been putting our action towards as well. So that's another thing. Like, this is saying, I feel like, keep going, keep working, just because things may be a little bit all over the place right now, or maybe we can't see what's going on and we don't have a clear view. Both of these are, not looking at what's right in front of them, not being able to see essentially what's really going on around them, even though we may be in that type of state where we're not seeing the full picture of things, or we're not really able to see for one reason or another what's truly in front of us. We still need to find the power within us to keep going, to keep moving, to not give up. And that is what the cards are saying today, you guys. And that is also what the stars are saying, in my opinion, to a large extent. And I do feel like the trine to Saturn is benefiting us in helping us to pull that out of us in the context of everything else that is playing out and may really just be throwing us for some loops. So you guys, let's grab a synchronicity card now. Let's get one piece of advice for God, Spirit, Universe. What will benefit us as we are going through this day? And there it is. Love equals respect. The children of this world are given in marriage, Luke 20:34. God is love, and when true love in the heart unites a man and a woman, it is God joining a couple. When difficulties and arguments occur, dissolve the problem in the light of God's love. Love, goodwill, and understanding are the keys to all human understanding. Respect one another. Refusing to treat another with respect will cause more harm than any other act. So that really, honestly, I feel like is probably the best advice that we could have right now in terms of what we're navigating and navigating this energy, trying our best to be vessels of love and respect for others despite what is going on, because we know if that is the energy that we are holding within us, then we are less likely to draw more negative energy to ourselves and more likely to draw solutions to our problems, which are also very possible in this Sun trine Saturn energy that we have, that is problem resolution energy. So love and respect. Every man is a golden link in the chain of my good. Every person that I have an interaction with, whether it be positive or perceived more negative, is in one way benefiting me, whether it be through a direct benefit or some type of lesson that will benefit me going forward. We need to try our best to see the world around us in, a more positive light and embody this love and respect attitude and get back on our boss business. So that is what I have to say today, guys. Message from the stars, message from the cards. I hope I was able to provide something for you to give you a little bit of whatever you may be needing as you go through your day today. If you guys liked this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Please hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. It will only take you just like a second, and it really helps my channel grow when you do that, and I very much so appreciate it. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social medias. Those are in my description box below. Also, share this video with your friends, you guys, if you think that they would like this type of astrology content too, and leave me comments. You guys are my favorite people. I'm so grateful for all of you being here. I love knowing how these aspects and transits are affecting you in your own experience as well. So thank you for your comments, and come back with me tomorrow, you guys. We'll have more astrology to talk about. I should be here and you should be here too. So have a wonderful day, everybody. And until tomorrow, bye guys.